Brian, Pete Thamel from Sports Illustrated. Coming into your tenure here, and then even coming into this season, there were questions about Notre Dame's seat at the table in the big picture in college football and such. Can you talk a little bit about how this season has sort of reaffirmed Notre Dame in that top echelon, and how, and obviously the way the BCS is realigned now, your place there being secure?
Well, two things stand out. One, before the season started, before we had won one football game, we were able to gain access to the Final Four. So I think everything that led up to this season still made it clear that Notre Dame had a seat at that table. After winning this year and showing that we can win nationally against perennially great programs, I think it just secured our philosophy of being an independent and being part of the national landscape. So two things came together. One, that we had that seat before the season started, and then we strengthened that decision by going undefeated. I think those are the two things that came together this year for us.
Or if you could self-scout for a minute, just how your play calling ability had to change this year versus how you got to this point in your career, nursing Everett through to the point, bringing Tommy in at the right time, versus maybe the year when you had to use 5 quarterbacks. I mean, it's almost been all over the map.
Yeah. I think central to that was that we were going to play an inexperienced freshman quarterback. So let's start with that decision first. Then, I didn't believe, nor did I want, to use this year as a bridge year, a transition year. I wanted to win this year. I wanted to win not only for Notre Dame, but for the seniors and for everybody associated with the program. So we had two things going on there. We're going to play a freshman quarterback, and we're not going to say it's a transition year. We're going to give them experience, we're going to take our lumps, and we're going to move forward. I've just never operated that way. So with those two things coming together, you have to find a way to win those games, manage those games, limit possessions, hold on to the football. So because those were the two immediate factors, then you have to adapt to the way you run those games. And that's how we came up with the formula this year to play the way we played. Next year it might be different, depending on what those key factors are.
Real quick, you won't say this, but did you sense there were those that thought 13 was the year, 14 was the year? Like you said, you didn't want this to be a transition year.
That was brought up to me. Those words were clearly in my ear. But I have not done a good job my entire career listening to other people's expectations. So I had set my own expectations for what we wanted to accomplish, and we went about, that way.